common cause of SME failure is, ironically, growing too fast. This is because they hemorrhage money doing too many things badly instead of focusing on doing a few things well, often called the 80-20 rule. Big firms have the same problem, but they have enough resources to cope and the resources to invest in working out where they should focus. One of the tools they use to do this is the portfolio matrix. The first and most famous is the Boston matrix, which allows you to plot your products or your customers in terms of growth and market share, and depending on which of 4 boxes they fall into, work out where to focus. The Boston matrix is conceptually simple, but it's not always useful for SMEs because they may not have significant market share, and getting the data on growth, especially if they're innovating, is difficult. So a more useful approach for SMEs is the Direction Policy Matrix, or DPM, also called the GE McKinsey matrix. Now, there are lots of case studies and examples of how to use the DPM on the internet, so I'll just summarize how SMEs can apply it. First, you need to think about what options you have. They could be around what products to develop, which markets or customers to go after. They could even be about which teams in your business to invest in. These options become the circles on the matrix. Next, you need to think about what makes an option attractive, what we call the attractiveness criteria. These are things like the size of the market, potential revenue, the rate of growth, number of competitors, or legal compliance. Basically, anything that you yourselves can't change. You can pick one, or you can pick a combination, and then weight them in terms of importance. You then score each option in terms of how good they are against each of the criteria, which gives you the vertical position of each option on the matrix. Then you repeat in terms of the capabilities you need, not the things that you're already good at, but the things that would affect whether you will succeed, what we call the competitive strength criteria. These are things like price, design, quality, service, choice. Basically, things that customers will consider when deciding between you and your competitors. You could just choose one, but usually you choose a selection, and for each option you score how good you are compared to your main competitor on each of the criteria. This then gives you the horizontal position of each option on the matrix. Now, this all sounds complex, but it's fully worth it because you will end up with a great visualization of your priorities and what your plan should focus on. The options towards the top left are those that you might keep an eye on, as they are important, but you're already good at it. Those in the bottom left you continue as efficiently as possible, as you're good at them, but they're not that important. Those at the bottom right you should hand off, perhaps even get rid of, and those in the top right are the ones you should put most of your effort into, at least in the short term. As well as helping you to focus, this approach is a great way of getting your stakeholders, such as investors, your staff, other companies you have relationships with, engaged in your plans through picking the criteria and scoring the options. That way, they are more likely to buy into the decision and more likely to turn your plans into reality, which is really what counts. Now, once you've decided where to focus, you can decide on exactly how you should position yourself against your competitors. And that's the subject of the next video.